Hey guys, Tara here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Kholodny Ferma, playing for today's spawning. On the left we have vonClausewitz as the LC player, and his loadout is elite troops, Jaeger infantry, and lightning war. Right hand side we have Dave as the US forces, who has airborne, heavy cavalry, and armor company. So yes, this is Dave, classy Dave, Space Marine Dave as you may know him. He is participating in TPI 5, so I figured I'd cast this game, get to see what he's up to. He's been away in the army, I believe, so I haven't talked to him since before GCS2, but he's back and he's going to be playing in TPI, so... Yeah, okay, he knows he's about to get trapped behind the wall. Cancelled the wire there. As for vonClausewitz, you guys may not be familiar with him. I don't think I've ever cast him, honestly, but he is rank 10 as Aussie currently, so very highly ranked. Dave also around rank 10 as US forces, even after all that decay. So should be in for a very nice match today. So it looks like Dave not going for like a assault engineer spam strategy. I think traditionally Dave was the strongest US Forces player. It was a real shame we didn't get to see him play in GCS2, because I think he would have done really well. But his rifleman play is excellent. I have covered him a couple times on my channel before. So 3 rifles start from him so far. It'll be interesting to see how he makes use of the new tech changes as well. Whether he goes for like a 4 rifle start or if he goes for an early officer. So a lot of wiring off for both players so far. Just wire, cap. Nothing too explosive so far. Just engagement. Pioneers close in. Second squad of rifles comes into support. Pies have to get out. It's actually not going to go too well. vonClausewitz, interestingly enough, not going for MG42 with his start. So getting off to a little bit of a slow start with a lot of other players who go for no MG42 start. They do go for a second squad of Pioneers to try and speed up their map control a little bit. I think we saw that from Refero in GCS2, but a few other players have done it as well. So vonClausewitz breaking the standard openings here. Hasn't even started his battle phase 1 though. I don't know if that's a mistake. Maybe he's going to go for a very early mid bunker. And it looks like Dave gone for a very early mortar on the other side. Interesting. He's not upping his MG42, so may not have a very good target for this. Also quite interesting here, Dave's managed to get control of this building, causing vonClausewitz some issues. One thing that, I first saw Panzergrenadier Angreifen do is put a sandbag behind this point so that you can fight cover to cover here if your opponent ever jumps into this building. I thought that was a very good idea, so I do recommend that if you've got a squad that can just set sandbags down on this point here. Do so, because it really helps in those situations where you lose control of this building. That's a very smart order, and I did steal that one from him. Okay, battle phase 1 is now completed.
We are losing a sector.
Okay, Dave is going for a lieutenant, just about to pop. And going for an early ambulance as well. Dave is staying outside of flamethrower range there, even though he's in negative cover. Still better than getting flamed on. And he's managed to sneak his way into the central building again. So vonClausewitz, he kind of is like one squad down. Quite often you'll see like MG plus 4 greens opening, so he seems to be overwhelming him with numbers right here, and it's about to get a lot worse once this lieutenant hits the field. Now he's getting onto this cutoff. Gonna try and slow down his opponent's light vehicles. vonClausewitz putting down his tech now. He does have a bunker down. No medic upgrade quite yet though. But it's clearly on his mind. He's got quite a lot of low health grenadiers here. This could be a wipe though if he gets unlucky. Dave goes for a little bit of a body block there. Briefly halts the grenadiers. Oof, just gets away. That was a really close call. Nice attempted wipe there from Dave. I think if vonClausewitz lost his grenadier there, I mean, it's close to GG at that point, honestly, with his bad start to this point. Using a grenadier on top of that would be super costly. Okay, so Dave hasn't started his tech up to the next level yet. So this is potentially a mistake. Maybe he's not too familiar with US tech yet. You generally want to unlock that when you can. Does have the opportunity. Now the 222 is going to be on the field for quite some time. And if he wants to get a steward out to counter that, he's going to have to take this and then build it. So it's really slow, whereas you're just about, you know, he could have it in production right now if he had gone for that upgrade earlier. He's gone for the 50 cal instead. If you do chuck a 50 cal in this building, it's very strong. It's 222 though. It's high penetration. And mince the light armor of the 222. Looks like he's gone for weapon racks. Interesting. Klaus was here going onto the cutoff, but at the same time neutralizing the central VP, not making the mistake a lot of other people do. Diving onto the cutoff and leaving the opponent connected through the center.
The enemy is taking our territory. New units are ready to deploy.
Klaus was really making some good use of this 222 here, getting in close and personal. 50 cal forces him back though. Looks like those medics have completed and he's healing up all his grenadiers. Perhaps this was the whole reason why he didn't want one more squad early, was to get that 5-man Jaeger command squad. Which doesn't mean, of course, he's gone for Jaeger infantry. Dave has gone for airborne. Airborne, you know, a bit of an old school commander. Doesn't see much play these days because of the US forces tech changes. Oh, and this could be a wipe. No, he took any damage there. That was a little bit unlucky for Dave, I feel. Yeah, airborne, a bit of an old school commander. Like, I feel now that you can get such easy access through teching to their team weapons, being able to drop these in is just not nearly as advantageous. So it's kind of fallen out of favour because of that change. I know that Loveness really likes Pathfinders, however, especially against LCA, but generally you will get one of those as your first 3 squads, so because that's not the case here. A bit curious as to why Dave selected this commander. 222 doing its best here. Needs some repairs though, just taking a lot of damage from all the bars and heavy machine gun fire. More lining up now. This is another thing that, you know, a second squad of early pioneers could help with. Easier repairs on the 222 and easier construction of your tech.
The enemy is taking our territory.
It looks like Dave perhaps going for a no light vehicle build here. So yeah, it works out for him. Sniper from vonClausewitz. Looks like he put some sandbags vonClausewitz to facing this direction, expecting an assault from this angle, but maybe he only has 1 or 2 spots of cover here against this squad, so he's getting cut down pretty badly by those bars. Going for a G43 strategy here though.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Oh, nice mortar shell. There's a lot of health damage to those grenadiers. They're super clumped up too. Riflemen close the distance, take a lot of bleed on approach. Flamer arrives and he has to get out of there. 222 also forcing a lieutenant in the south. Squad behind heavy cover here though, threatening with the anti-tank grenade. Should be able to keep the 222 at bay. And it's a big retreat there from Dave. Most of his squad from the north being forced back, and vonClausewitz holding the line. Looks like he's maybe heading up for some repairs. I think I saw Dave, yeah, okay, he did. He paradropped in a M1. So, I mean, that is like reasonably cheap, I guess. I don't know. It's, by the time you reinforce it, it ends up costing like a similar amount to just building a tank gun, but it costs you 60 munitions, so... You know, it was changed to try and make it a little bit more viable with the tech changes, but still feel like these weapon drops are now a little bit underwhelming. Do we have a major tech from Dave? Very close to the amount of fuel for a Sherman. No Battle Phase 2 tech yet from vonClausewitz, however. So he's a decent chunk of fuel behind by the time he, you know, does the Battle Phase 2 tech builds the structure. He's probably close to 100 fuel behind. Dave has had a pretty good lead so far, and maybe we're about to extend that here. 222 goes down. When you play against, you know, players at this level, if your opponent is like letting you have a super... Oof, nice close range rifle grenade. But if your opponent is letting you have like a really good engagement for some point, your spidey senses have to start tingling, and you have to think, well, are they just trying to bait me here for a setup? And that's exactly what happened there. 222 was popping away at that squad behind heavy cover, waiting for the M1 to get in position to knock it out. Well executed by Dave. Something's too good to be true, it often is. Dave bringing in the Sherman's got to be pretty fast this match. We do have a pack in production though for vonClausewitz. Don't know if he's got any tellers down, not in any of the usual spaces. Oh, late sweeper tech here from Dave. I suppose technically because he didn't go for a light vehicle, he didn't need a sweeper till now, but it's generally a good idea just to get it in case you spot any mines as your re-echelons move around the map. Should be one of your first munitions upgrades. Oh, 2v1, outnumbered. So one of the advantages of an army like this, you know, 4 G43 greens and a command officer, is it's very easy to move around the map with. Being mobile, don't have to worry about positioning your machine guns and whatnot. And until your opponent gets double bars on the rifleman, very effective. And combat strength. Oh. Looks like he was activating a Faust but cancelled it because it wouldn't have got the snare. And then just decided to give up. Get out of there. Didn't want to risk getting wiped by the HE shells. Fair enough, Dave has to pull back for repairs anyway. No, he's coming back in. This is kind of risky. You need to take that risk when you're this far ahead. Okay, tick going down for vonClausewitz.
Our lines of supply
Actually,
are
not too
disrupted.
far away from a tank now. Once he's got this tick up, so yeah, I mean he could get a Stug basically right now. So I imagine he'll want a Panzer IV. Just a little bit better on this map. I feel like Stugs can be a bit clunky trying to maneuver around these shot blockers and areas. Maybe if he was on a more open map like crossing in the woods, you'd consider the Stug a little bit more highly. Oh, he's gonna go for the Stug though. Maybe he feels like he just can't afford to wait for another 20 fuel, especially when his income right now is so slow. Stug is also just a fine option though. So Dave has a pretty good position set here. Here comes the flamethrower though to get rid of the squad from the building. Sherman's repaired up. Well, not fully repaired though actually. Or maybe it took a Faust. Sherman coming through the middle. Very close to the amount of fuel for another tank here as Dave as well.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Kills, about to be 9. Pack's in a nice position in the middle as well, right where the Sherman's about to pop out. Sherman going in, trying to secure the wipe on that squad after the mortar shell. And here comes the Stug, but M1's in a nice position here to defend, and the Stug's not going to push in, not going to risk it. Which is good, because, you know, with the potential snare right there in the M1, he could have lost his Stug if he was not on top of his micro.
A capture point is being overrun.
Clausewitz capping. He's actually not that far, you know, even though he hasn't had that good resource control, he's not that far behind in terms of VPs. They're only having a 60 VP lead here, so he can stabilize right now. He's still right in this match.
We are losing a sector.
Mortar shell could have been disastrous. Second Sherman coming in from Dave. This is a US Forces play everyone loves to see. Mass Shermans, aggressive maneuvers, very entertaining.
A sector has been cut off.
vonClausewitz continues to find spots to harass the southern VP. It's often quite hard to do. But he's finding the time, he's making the time. But here comes Dave, bringing his bazookas and his M1 to the south as well. Perhaps he heard this moving around through the fog, so he's in a good position to fend off the Stug. And the Stug, I think, heard the Sherman crushing this. And the Stug, on seeing the bazookas, is trying to get out of there. Sherman pushing forwards aggressively. One a little bit slow, but here it's coming now, and that's a full retreat from vonClausewitz. He manages to escape with minimal casualties in the south.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Third enemy eliminated. Rifle squad went down. Over here? Oh, those are Pioneer corpses. In the north. They've lost a rifle in the north. Oh, I mean, I didn't notice. I was too busy watching this. Maybe Dave was the same, but vonClausewitz right on top of it. Securing the wipe, and now Dave's actually, you know, getting a little bit light on the field in terms of infantry. May supplement with a squad of paratroopers. Okay, he's going in. He's found the packs out of position, or what he believes to be at least. He's got the M1 and the bazookas coming up, trying to keep the Stug honest. He's going in for the jugular after the pack. Got light artillery barrage forcing back the M1. Stug rotating round and hasn't taken any damage yet, so no snares nearby. Sherman sticking around trying to destroy the decrew pack. Oh, rifle squad goes down on the road. Sherman trying to outmaneuver the Stug, and he gets it, combining with the M1 nicely from the middle. But now 2 damaged engines. Can vonClausewitz clean up any of these? It's a Faust. One more Faust will kill this, but I don't know. Can he get another Faust with the Sherman right there? This didn't actually get destroyed. I don't think he's going to get in range of that one, and it looks like Dave might extract here with both his tanks alive. No, he stops briefly here. Oh, and the Sherman misses that shell. Mutually assured destruction there.
A medium tank was just lost.
Looks like the pack goes down though as well for vonClausewitz, so he didn't get out scot-free. Going for the Panther 4 right now. Because he went for the light artillery barrage, not going to have enough munitions for this too close air support anytime, which might be quite important in this match. And Dave, upon losing that second squad of rifles, is going for a squad of paratroopers to replace them. Thing is though, he is going to be quite light on the snares right now, only one squad of riflemen available for that. And doesn't have any other snares in this commander, doesn't have, you know, like rifleman defenses or assault engineers to plant mines. So that could be a hurdle for him. Oh my god, he just about lost the Sherman there. Good reaction times though from Dave. Chasing after that sniper, should get away. It's a little bit of light cover crossing that road nowadays. Getting onto the cutoff once again though, trying to stop vonClausewitz from getting any more tanks out. Clausewitz going for another pack. Wow, that Sherman getting a good hit even behind the heavy cover. Paratroopers. Okay, here we go. He's got the Thompsons. Up against the Vet 2 Grenadiers though. Thompsons take a lot of damage closing in, but now they're in close, they should win. They just have Vet 3 just a little bit too late. Maybe if they have Vet 3 at the start of the engagement, they would have got the victory.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Excuse me. Okay, so Dave rebuilding the Sherman. In terms of army size though, as you can see here, pretty close. Oh, no, he's getting Pathfinders and a Sherman at once, so he's about to rock it up. It's about to be 15 supply ahead. 17, no. Another Grenadier coming in for vonClausewitz to replace one of his losses. Slight mistake here, should probably be shooting at the machine gun out in the open instead of the squad in the heavy cover garrison. Two Shermans for Dave, both in the middle. Looks like they're both on armor piercing as well. Expecting to have to scrap it out with his Panzer 4. Rifleman going on the aggressive here. Taking quite a lot of casualties from the squad in the building. Uses mortar to try flush it out. Sherman's on the hard piercing rounds, not doing too much damage. vonClausewitz is doing a really good job controlling north and south. A bit of trouble against Dave's team weapons in the middle, however. Looks like he's trying to use the Pathfinders through the middle, perhaps for extra line of sight. Try to spot those packs along range. Sherman and M1 heading to the south. Pack getting aggressive through the middle. Oh, Thompsons activate the tactical movement. Grenadier might go down here. Sherman going in for the kill. He doesn't have the machine gun upgrade on it though. And misses the killing blow. P4 hidden. No. It's like, okay, got away. I don't need to throw my P4 in the south. Fair enough. But vonClausewitz fighting hard on the VPs here. He's getting back in this one. Going for a Stug now. Dave just didn't have very good control on that last push through the centre, and really need the mortar to get rid of that grandeur in that central building. Took a lot of casualties, kind of took a lot of the wind out of the sails from that push. Yeah, Sherman's on the armor piercing as well, weren't doing too well. A lot of people, you know, were like, oh man, Shermans can't kill anything when they're on armor piercing, but the performance is actually very similar to most other medium tanks with the armor piercing rounds activated. Very similar to the Panzer IV, Cromwell, T-34's main gun. So you should think about, you know, the high explosive mode as just being like an added bonus.
50 cals up.
Okay, Lieutenant and his rifle going on a deep flank here. Our troopers trying to come in through the south, but they're outnumbered 2v1. I don't know if they can win this. Grenade thrown. There's some good damage. Randy's having trouble with the smoke, but the smoke has cleared, and now perhaps the... I think the paratroopers are going to get away. Close call though. Lieutenant doing some capping. So Dave has spotted the Stutt now though, so he's got to be on his toes. Looks like he's trying to smoke off the middle to help with the capturing. Teller went down. I don't know if Dave saw it, but it's in a really nice spot there. And Sniper's still alive. Only 16 kills, but similar to the Pathfinder, is very helpful for line of sight in the middle of the map.
A capture point is being overrun.
So you don't just run into team weapons constantly. Looks like Dave maneuvering his tanks to the south. He's got enough resources for one more. Doesn't have the munitions though. His munitions control perhaps hasn't been that strong. Looks like he's trying to destroy this garrison perhaps. He's had enough of it. Our troopers, Pathfinders rather, trying to creep into position, maybe use the camouflage. Here goes the building. Rifles hold the line in the north, but losing ground in the south. Pathfinders get spotted. 50 cal going down here frontally. Just too many squads in the middle, causing the light arty barrage on the M1 as well. Not chasing in with the greedies. Should be gunning after this M1 on the move. So he's going to settle with stealing the 50 cal here though. Squad gets forced away, but doesn't lose it, so good control there by vonClausewitz. Here comes the paratroopers though, pack way out of position. Look at how quickly it's going down. Sherman's coming in. P4 misses his first shot, now at 2v1. Sherman in big trouble, Panzer IV in big trouble. Paratroopers could steal the pack and turn it against him. Sherman chasing in. Could this Teller come in clutch here? One Sherman goes down. M1 pushing through the middle. Troopers look like they're not going to steal it. He's just going to flat out destroy the pack. So I think he'll be somewhat happy with that trade. Did lose his 50 cal, but took out the pack in return and traded a Panzer IV for a Sherman. Sherman being a little bit cheaper, so probably reasonably happy with that. Transitioning now into a Jackson instead of another Sherman. Rifle coming in. Well, Dave well on top of that. Great reactions. More smoke from Dave. He's really making the most out of that mortar smoke. Similar to Loveness when he plays US Forces. Makes heavy use of the mortar smoke. Squad's coming in, maybe looking for some more tellers or something. Doesn't spot anything though. Two squads in the south. Clausewitz now has enough for another Panzer IV. Hasn't ticked to battle phase 3, so he's definitely staying on tier 3. So Dave has replaced his 50 cal. I'm going to be careful putting on the road though. Probably part of the reason why I died so quickly last time. And he's going to leave his Sherman on high explosive now. Go for maximum chance to wipe. No, switch back to armor piercing. And Clausewitz, though, as I mentioned, he just does so well at capping these VPs on the flanks. This is one of the benefits of the officers. You know, a lot of people complain about officers being like, what's the point in rebuilding officers? They're kind of like bad riflemen. But V3 passive sprint is so useful for capping up the map in the late game. It's definitely a strong reason why you should consider rebuilding an officer.
Crowds are taking one of our points.
Stood coming down here now. See, spotted that teller going down, I'm pretty sure. Squad heading up here with the sweepers. P4 and Stug in the south. Jackson is nearby. Looks like Sherman's heading to the north though. So Dave has to get out of there in the south. Well, Clausewitz really doing a good job with the VP control. Okay, so he's popping smoke, trying to outmaneuver the 50 cal, bringing in a huge formation here. Arrows look like they're going to try to sneak around the side of the 50 cal, leaving them separate. What was that grenade? Just way off target from the building. Paratroopers force away. Oh, he's so close to that. I'm pretty sure he spotted that going down. If he doesn't run over it. 50 cal goes down though. Nice maneuvering from the paratroopers by Dave. He's going to try to steal it back. Oh my god, he runs over the mine. He definitely saw the last couple of seconds of that going down. Maybe he just didn't register. And now the armored hordes are moving in for vonClausewitz, trying to mop up that damaged Sherman. M1 moving into position now. Still gets one shot in. Pathfinders in the building go down. Looks like this Sherman's going to go down though. 2 tellers, 2 kills. Great hit rate from vonClausewitz on his mines.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture
And Dave
points.
losing those Pathfinders, quite costly. On top of losing his tank, he's trying to sprint up for a Faust.
We're losing a capture point.
Lieutenant's way too strong for that. Dave finally capping in the north, but Sniper capping in the middle. For Sherman coming in for Dave.
Our supply line's cut. Germans are making a push.
Dave hasn't quite saved enough for a P-47 rocket strike, but that may be his ace in the hole in the next big tank engagement. Does continuously lose control of his munitions though, as I mentioned earlier, and if vonClausewitz gets to this too close air support, it's so strong. Probably even stronger than this, even though it's cost 40 munitions more. It's kinda crazy. Just the tracking on this seems to be a little bit stronger than tracking on the P-47s. The damage pretty similar. It's got buffed at one point and then got re-nerfed. Well, it used to be super strong, then it got nerfed. It's just been an endless cycle of buffs and nerfs. I think it's, at the moment, perhaps a little bit underwhelming for its cost, but it's not too bad. Rifleman trying to hold the line in the north, but outnumbered. He's throws a grenade expecting the advance, but vonClausewitz right on top of it, evading that attempt. Okay, so Jack's not to full. Fresh Sherman on the field with the machine gun upgrade. Clausewitz going for another Panzer IV. They've got to be careful here. Not to get outnumbered. Those scenarios, it really comes down to support play, having your rear echelons in the right spot, and having your anti-tank gun in the right spot. Bazookas get a shot in there. Up to Vet 3 now, getting the 5th man.
Crowds are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured.
They're using the smoke in the middle again. Bringing the Sherman forward. Sherman switching between the rounds there. Back on the high explosive now. One thing Dave hasn't done is plant any of those like re-echelon mini-mines, as far as I'm aware. And because vonClausewitz does have 2 flamethrowers, he's a little bit susceptible to mines. Those mini-mines do come in handy, you know, if you just plant like 1 or 2 of them on the common passageways. Can really help in. There can be another X factor in those tank engagements, even though they're not that strong. You can still take advantage of your opponent not having any sweeping capabilities. Throwing a grenade there just to flush them out of cover. But because he is spending quite a lot of munitions on grenades, not really saving towards B-47 rockets. Jackson gets some nice hits in, forcing the P4 back for repairs, but double piles nearby. One of them Vet 2 with the, or Vet 3 with the Vet 2 PF speed bonus. Okay, Panzer IV heading to the north. Not on full health, though. I might have taken an anti-tank grenade or something. But rifle can get out of there, perhaps hearing it through the fog on its way up. Go to Paris. Smoke clears. And Clausewitz, though, very quick on the retreat. His reaction time seemed to be very strong. Dave going for a second squad of paratroopers. It looks like he's trying to extend his dominance in the infantry arena. He does have 2 50 cals. And having a 50 cal in the south protecting the VP is going to help his control of it greatly. It's covering it really nicely. Trying to go for a flank around here is quite tough to do sometimes. Might require vonClausewitz to send a tank down there. Okay, so Grenadiers charging forwards, but even just that, those carbines there doing some good damage. Upgrading this squad with the LMGs now, so definitely not going to be going for the P-47s. Mortar now from vonClausewitz returning fire. They're about to get decrewed perhaps by that cook grenade. Oh, and the LMGs pop at just the right time to seal the deal there. Probably want to recruit with one of these Pio squads. Cheapest to reinforce. Here we've got Jackson in the north. Doesn't actually recruit the mortar, maybe he's going to get it with the command squad. No, he's just going to run right on past it. Okay, this is a big armoured force. Running right in the middle. Dave's got his anti-tank gun in a very safe position here. It'll be quite hard to flank this M1 being so far in the back. But conversely, now it can't contribute shooting at these tanks in their current position. Moving it up. 50 cal is in a nice position to stop this. Okay, in comes the close air support from vonClausewitz, and he's pushing in with all his tanks. Trying to get out of there. Yep, he's taking some damage. The Bazookas are moving up. Looks like they're trying to focus fire the Stug. M1 sets up, but gets out of there straight away. Stug looks like it's going to go down. Uh-oh. Main gun destroyed on the Sherman. Stug goes down. But Jackson's managed to get behind the base here. Can vonClausewitz extract without taking any more casualties? No! Panzer IV goes down. M1's got decrewed by the infantry. And Jackson might not be able to chase any further. No, it looks like the planes have just worn off now. So I think that overall went in Dave's favour. As long as he can recrew his team weapons here, which looks like he's going to be able to do.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
We're going to Sherman straight away. Lost his Paras though with the Thompsons, so a very costly loss for Dave in that regard. But taking down Sherman and a Panzer IV, I think the greater scalp overall. So he's gone for a second squad of re-echelons. Maybe to try and recreate these team weapons. But you know, if he did have a couple of those like light AT mines, would have really slowed their momentum from that push from vonClausewitz there. Might have meant that his M1 would have had more time to fire at vonClausewitz tanks.
We are in a dangerous. The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Clausewitz getting on top of these VPs here though. Dave's smoking the middle once again. His M1 is exposed right now.
Armor here.
Okay, Sherman dispensed to the south. High explosive too, getting some good hits. Dig out, combining well with these rifles in the middle. P4 forcing away the troops in the north. Looks like they've got a lot of kills on those Paras as well. Very expensive to reinforce. Looks like Dave having a few issues moving his Jackson around here. Maybe he doesn't want to come through this area with him. Wants to gauge long range from this angle. EP's trading hands though, in a big way. Looks like Dave's going to have 2v1 and vonClausewitz and what, 95 EPs left. Getting quite low here.
We're losing a capture point.
Sniper still finding angles. Well, both bazookas penetrate there. Sniper could... oh, doesn't even need to use the explosive shot there. Gets the 50 cal anyway. Okay, Telemine in a nice spot from vonClausewitz again. Very interesting that he made a mortar team and then just never bothered to recrew it. Really did anything with it. Dave has been very passive. Oh, it was a light artillery barrage. It's the sniper spotting long range, calls it in deep in Dave's territory. Now the sweeper squad coming forward here. For some troops in the south. Dave does seem to be having trouble, like, finding angle for his Jackson to get those free hits in. Clausewitz very evasive with his armor so far.
The capture point is under attack.
Finally recruits that mortar now. Spots the mine. Hasn't defused it yet. Jackson coming forward. Now he's going to get those free hits in. Both P4s here, and they're getting forced back by the bazookas, and Jackson getting the free hits in behind that. Oh! I think that's really like the first careless loss for vonClausewitz, losing that grenadier there. Trying to micro in too many places at once.
Sherman ready.
Second Sherman for Dave. Now he's got the armor superiority. Might be able to capitalize on this moment right now. 2 Panzer IVs damaged before the Stug comes out.
A capture point is being overrun.
Oh, it looks like he maybe detonated that mine at some point, so that's good. I don't know if I could handle seeing Dave run over another mine. Okay, so everyone's just playing it cool, just repairing up their tanks, getting in position. Looks like Dave gonna try leave a 50 cal covering this north VP. 86 VPs left for vonClausewitz. He's getting very low. Clausewitz also, maybe he's waiting until he gets another Stuka close air support strafe before going too much on the aggressive, just trying to stem the tide until then. Looks like the action's happening in the south. All 3 of vonClausewitz tanks down here. Stug wants to come in for some free hits on the Sherman. Misses his first shot on the move. Second Sherman moving down here. Switched back over to the armor piercing on this one. Stug getting aggressive. Panzer IV's going in. Still doesn't quite have the super close air support munitions though. And P4 bouncing its first shot, decides not to chase any further because of it. Jackson was rotating around, but doesn't quite get there in time. Second Stug for vonClausewitz. Okay. It's going to tip him over into the lead. Still got these D-True team weapons over here for Dave as well. Looks like Dave has gone for more bazookas though. Looks like they only have the 1 bazooka at the moment, however. Dave is very passive with his armor here though. Looks like I gotta be careful, those LNG parrots can chop you down really quick. Oh, he wasn't watching, he's trying to control his armor, and they do indeed knock out the sniper in the blink of an eye. Couple bursts. That's one thing about paratroopers, you know, they can shoot the LMGs on the move.
The enemy is now at 75
Even though it's not
points.
like super effective, it can help you once you're getting into position. Okay, so 4 tanks now for vonClausewitz and the Stu close air support. This could be dicey for Dave. Clausewitz looking to overwhelm Dave here because he's so low on VPs, wants to close the show. Double Stugs though. Oh, this could be tricky coming through this narrow corridor. Kind of coming in one by one here. In comes these 2 close air support planes. Double Panzer IVs teaming up. Jackson goes down, main gun destroyed. Sherman's focusing on these Stuks. Can he outmaneuver them here? Bazooka's coming over now to support the Sherman. No Faust, no munitions for a Faust, it looks like. And that got abandoned as well. P4 on the hunt for this low health Sherman in the north. Bazooka's heading over to intercept though. And now could be a 2v1 on this Panzer IV. Looks like those Bazooka re-echelons went down in the south. Panzer IV's in a bit of trouble here though.
Just took out an entire gun crew.
Sherman coming in. On the rear arm of the Panzer IV, needs a hit. Oh, and they both miss.
The Germans just cut off our supply lines.
Try and focus fire down these Grenadiers. Grenadiers going to get Faust on the low house Sherman and it's destroyed.
We just lost a medium tank.
Heavy casualties here for Dave. One of his Shermans alive still. And he calls the GG. Throws in the towel. I think he had room for a comeback, but certainly that was a crushing blow. I mean, you know, this Jackson was still here. Could recruit from the abandoned. But yeah, that was a rough one for Dave. Nice push from vonClausewitz. So he, you know, stayed cool, accumulated the critical mass of armor, combining with his too close air support. Made a really nice push there. No mines though to stop him from Dave. Even those light mines can really help slow those aggressive medium tank assaults from Moss there. And never recruit his M1 as well. So there were a couple extra steps he could have taken to help fend off that armoured push, but very well executed by vonClausewitz, coming back from a less than desirable start to this match. Closing out the game there at the end. I'll wrap on that, guys. If you'd like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you off for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye. Good luck.